Got quite a bit of storms last night. Didn't rain very long, but we got a few inches in about an hour. And if I follow this driveway down, that's where my water line goes. We got quite a bit of washout in the garden area. You can see where it came through there. If I go on the outside here, this whole side's washed out. And then this whole side's washed out. We'll come in through the arch here. That's all washed out. This side is all washed out. Splits off to the left and to the right, washed out. We'll go through the right. Looks like this is where all the beets were. And there's a few survivors. I don't think not our year for beets. Lettuce still looks really, really good. And washed out all the way over here. Completely down this side. I have a few cauliflower and broccoli plants that are just laid down a little bit, but we'll get them staked back up. They'll be fine. It's quite a few inches that washed out. This doesn't look like much on the camera, but it definitely is. It's got humps and ridges and gouges. I'll come back around this way. In between the tomatoes here is okay. Down through the beans is okay. This is the inside. I showed you from the outside. It's washed out pretty darn well. All the way. If we follow it over here to where the mint's at, it's kind of where it ended. And back behind where my cantaloupe is. Those big old gouges and holes. Kind of a bummer, but it could be worse. We didn't lose much besides the beets, I think. I still have my Kajari melons are growing pretty nice. I actually have quite a few from the beginning of August video. There's one there. There's some baby ones popping up everywhere. There's one. I have one on this plant. In the beginning, I forgot what I had planted here, but now that they're growing, I could definitely tell they're the Kajari melons. So this is the bean bed as of today. Mid-August tour. It is August 17th. I'll have to come in here and harvest a few beans. The new ones I planted, they're laid down. They'll come back. I'll pull them out of the wet mud, dirt. That's holding them down a little bit. Dried beans, they're drying out. That's how they should look. Tomatoes, I've stopped pruning them, clearly. But we do have a lot of tomatoes on here. I'll come down and some of them aren't quite ready yet, but we'll come down and pick the ones that are ready. There's in between the beds. Kind of given up on my cherry tomatoes. Or I should say, the beefsteaks. But we do have some really nice slicers here. These are nice. We'll get those harvested today. Got some ripening up over here, down that side. I'll come along on this side. I got a bunch to pick off today. They're hiding everywhere. Rain didn't stop the zucchinis from growing. Arch trellis with our pumpkins. Look at that. That's a pleasant surprise to see those. Inside the arch, it's quite crazy now. Honey butternut squash. We got the cucumbers growing here. It's a little shaded because of the popcorn back here. So they are pulling a little bit. But they're still intact. This is from inside the arch. So you can see the pumpkins. Looks pretty cool. These beans are, a lot of them are dying off. Okay with that though, but I did notice the other day we do have some growing. For as massive as these vines get, there's not much growing. And through the arch, we're seeing all this together for the first time. I haven't inspected too much since this rain, but at least I still have flowers on the plants. This is the other bed. Looks like everything still looks pretty good. I have quite the cluster of peppers on these plants. It's pretty amazing. Let's see if our garden spider survived. I'm guessing she moved on. Yeah, she moved on. She was right here. Some nice peppers. I'll have to come in here and harvest this one. Sweet potatoes. Like I said, since the last video, we harvested some sweet corn. I'll probably come in here and just take the rest off and get rid of these plants. They're doing okay. We got some really nice ears of corn. I'm gonna have to carefully clean some of this up. It's on top of the debris from the rain. It's on top of the vines. Let's carefully step through here. Let's see if everything survived. There's some flowers that fell off. I know I had some up here. I'm not sure if that got properly pollinated. There's one right there as well. There's the corn. Surprised these are still standing. I think they're about a good 12, 13 feet tall. These are all still standing. Yeah, we'll have to, some of these are got a little crooked, laid down. We'll stake them all up, get them looking pretty again. This bed right here is taking a hit on a lot of stuff. It's grown quite massive, so excuse that, we're starting to clean up some gravel at the end of the driveway. But that's a huge tomato. We'll just let this plant lay down like it is and harvest what we can. This has got a lot of tomatoes to harvest off of it. This is the Dr. Witchies. I'm not sure, it's just not growing that again. My black strawberry plant, as always, very prolific, and my Astrina plant. There's a lot. I add these little tomatoes to all my sauces. It gives a natural sweet flavor. Makes it delicious. Yeah, it's a shame. There's a lot of work to do, and I'm not sure how much I can do with these plants being so massive. I can't really walk through this aisle anymore. I might have to put some twine around these tomatillos. Maybe lift up I'm not too concerned to lose this Abe Lincoln and the Dr. Witchies on that end. So we'll probably just, like I said, get some twine and get those plants held up and then start filling in all this loose gravel where it washed out. Green stalks did hold. Carrots still look amazing in here. They didn't, I've heard others talk about how their green stalks stayed put during high winds and high storms. And you could see on the base here where in the back the gravel wash where it's level, and then this block here in the front is pretty much not. This little guy wants to survive. He's starting to root down here. But yeah, these didn't move an inch. They look nice. Everything looks really nice in these. We could take a, no, this is a mid-August garden tour, but maybe we could take a walk and see what else, see other damage that I could find from the storm. Yeah, walking out of the garden, this angle, water obviously went around the flower pot here, collected, split off that way. We did try to do a makeshift like trench through here, which it did hold up, but like I said, we got so much rain in a short amount of time that it didn't hold up. So we're almost done building the garage before we can get the landscape done. All in the gutters put on, everything washed. You can tell where it all washed. There's another little washout right here. Looks like we just built this for the outside cats, but it does look like it washed out underneath all this fabric. I'm really surprised that this is not compacted, just a pile of dirt hasn't washed out. Yeah. Hi, baby. Oh, I might as well introduce you guys to the cats as well. Trying to watch my step here. There's a little bit of washout here. And then that runs down to the garden, going into the cat shed. Hi, babies. Hi. Hi, babies. And Big Black and Elliot, Cindy Ray, Waggles, and Sleepy and Tie-Dye. Yeah. This is inside now. I just left the cat shed, just trying to still see what's going on. Like I said, this is a newly developed property, so yes, it's under construction and there's still parts to build all this laying around. You can see where this was just fresh gravel in here, where it's cut, unfortunately, and you can see the path that it took. And we're gonna walk from the garage over here, and we'll go out to the chicken coop and look at that. So this is the path. We're trying to get grass established. It's just not working the greatest. But before, this would have been a huge trench all the way down. We got some sand that's obviously washed out through here. Hi, ladies. As we enter, that's the noise you guys hear. He's out there scraping our gravel back from the road. If you guys can see through the trees. And then in here we have a lot of debris. And this is all on a hill. Hey Elton. Doesn't look like much of a hill, but it is quite a bit of a hill. So everything with the chickens scratching, we're gonna have to redevelop our plan. But they've worn the roots of the weeds and everything off, so everything's washed out here. This just be a nice path walk right through here. Hey ladies. So now it's all full of leaves and sticks. We used to have a French swale right through here. It was covered in nice big rocks, but it came down so hard you can tell. And that just pooled up down there. But now it is a complete runoff for all the leaves and sticks and everything. Let's just walk over here to the compost bin and see what that looks like real quick. I know this isn't horrible compared to what a lot of people are going on. It's a lot of cleanup for just 2 people. This goes to our compost bin. So there's not much. Just a lot of debris everywhere. All right, ladies, let's go get some treats. This is where we keep all the feed, and it washed down so much. It's got the barrels tipped over. All the debris underneath the barrels. Okay. Ladies love their treats. Get your treats. I guess while we're out here, might as well check on some eggs. Hey lady, you want to get out for me real quick? Come on, let's see what we got for eggs. Alright, not too bad. We didn't check them last night, so we got 6 laying hens right now, so it's not so bad. I don't believe this one lays, but she's rough looking. I left one in there for her. She just wants to sit on them, so I just let her do her thing. Walking down now from the chicken coop, I'll show you guys the pepper bed. But this is our apple tree we planted this year. That's a tree bag. It goes around the base of the tree. You fill it up with water. They work really well. And let's see what, hopefully no damage, but we'll see what's going on with these beds. Got lots of peppers on there. Lots of peppers on there. I picked about 50, 60 of these the other day. I'm gonna have to come back out. Those are the Anaheim peppers. These are the brown jalapenos. They're not ready yet. They'll turn brown, obviously. Looks like there's one down here. We'll look real quick. That's what it's gonna look like. Just a brown jalapeno. These plants look good. This is a volunteer tomato. And I'm guessing now that there's some fruit on it, it will probably be, yeah, you can see it's starting to turn down there. My guess is this is a Matt's cherry tomato. They're small, where I want to say a spoon, but the spoon ones are I think are smaller. But if you ever grow a spoon or a Matt's, you'll never have to plant again. This dirt was transferred from one bed to another location and put into this bed. Those seeds, they like to grow. This is going down the driveway. It's going to get a little loud, but bear with me. I'll just show you what's going on at the bottom. This is quite a a gouge in the driveway. That's really deep. Wow. Yeah, that's down to the breaker rock there. That's a nice gouge. Look at this hole filled in. All right. It's completely across the road here. All the way down. This is the other side of our property across the road. Gravel. All the way down. I'm not going to walk all the way down, but it pretty much goes all the way down there. It's quite a distance to travel. I'm going up. To the trench. Alright, so pull into the driveway, goes right or left. We came down to the right of this video. Just walking back up this way to look. There's just a lot of tree branches. A big chunk. And perennial garden. I don't think anything really got too damaged. Yeah, it doesn't look like anything's really too damaged here. Some of the chips got washed out. This was completely washed out. Filled up the bird bath. That's a plus. Yeah, everything looks pretty good here still, so that's good. I'm just going back up and to the garden again. I will do an update. I'll spend some time, get all this stuff cleaned up. Do an update after. It's going to be some work. And of course, it's like almost 90% humidity, so that's always fun to work in when the temps are in the 80s, high 80s, 90s. So yeah, just another little walkthrough. My mid-August garden tour turned into mid-August garden tour / weather destruction tour. Like I said, I know it's not as bad as what some people experienced, and the camera's not picking up nearly as bad. So on camera, I'm sure it just doesn't justify exactly how much damage is done. It's not really damage, it's just a lot of physical work to put things back where they were. Yeah, so I guess if I'm out here picking up little pieces of debris and fixing rock, I'll get all my tomatoes picked today and probably go through and clean these tomato plants up. One more good prune and then stay on top of it until end of season. I've given up on this little section because these plants I am not growing again. I think they bring very early blight, and I'm pretty sure that's why it spread so bad. I could be wrong. I'll take you guys back with me as I walk up and show you my beautiful roses. I'm surprised these didn't have more damage, but they look really nice. Very pretty. I guess on a positive note, good thing we have a big old pile of gravel. I can go through and fill in all of our basically ravines. Next video, I'll show you guys, maybe I'll do a little tour of my candy kitchen and everything like that, show you what I've been up to once I harvest everything. Alright everybody, from my washed out garden to yours, happy growing.